Alright, so it's the Monday of after the Devstream 81, and I'm joined by Pathalist here, who I'm going to explain to him just all the different things that DE talked about. So let's just get right into it. Um, so Digital Extremes announced a Corpus version of Rathum. We're basically going to be, at some point or another before the year ends, we're going to be introduced to a clan event where we fight Corpus champions in a Rathum similar to the way we were introduced to Kayla Thame. I already know what you're thinking, Sean. You just don't want to see any bullshit nullifiers in it, right?
Um, yeah, nullifiers are a piece of shit. So I can't imagine doing a Rathum with enemies level 3, 4, 5, 600, and getting one shot by nullifier coming into the doorway.
That
Actually,
actually that actually brings up another point that they had talked about, but I'll save that for later on. Is shield gating. Oh my god, our prayers have been answered. But Corpus Rathum seems, I don't know, it's definitely something to do.
I
But
mean, I mean nullifiers and a Bursa together.
oh god.
I mean, there's so many problems with nullifiers in general.
But see, I wonder if
Um,
they're gonna be making like unique enemies to the Corpus Rathum like they did for
oh, you know what I could see them doing.
yeah.
I forget the name of that enemy type, but it's the boss type with the three like dog like Corpus proxies.
Oh,
Yeah, I
the
can see
hyena
them.
pack.
Oh, I can see them putting them in there, and that would be awful.
Yeah, the when you have to encounter those things on sorties, oh boy. I've yet to really find a technique that actually works against them. And see, I know we like to bitch about nullifiers, and the world is pretty divided about how they feel about them. But I don't think that really anybody has a problem with the hyena pack. So that would be really cool. And it would also be really cool is if at the end of the Rathum, instead of just getting like, another stupid event weapon, we could get like a hyena as a companion.
That'd be nice. But
Yeah, that
I could
would
also
be.
see. I kind of hope they don't do like they did in Rathum, to where they have like you need points to go to that boss battle. So unless they're redoing that boss battle on said planet, whatever they're doing, or if they're making a new planet, which I don't think they're gonna do.
Well, I'm gonna make a prediction right now, and that's what is his name? His oh God, it was a Corpus boss that they took out of the navigation so that they could redo his look and everything.
Hmm.
We had to choose either his side or Alad V's side. Do you remember his name?
The guy with all the credits. I forget his name. The guy
Yeah.
with all the credits.
Oh man, he was in the solar system before he got reworked. It's like one of those things that just escapes your mind and it's right on the tip of your tongue. Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Nathaniel. Uh, I I'm calling it right now. I'm predicting that the Corpus Rathum, the index as they're calling it, is going to give rise to Nathaniel actually being in the solar system. Because that's the way they introduce Kayla Thame. It would only make sense that this is the way they're going to introduce Nathaniel because he hasn't actually been put into the game physically. He was just there for a couple of cinematics and then he was out. So
Yeah, but it's gonna be. I don't know. I kind of wish they still had the endless Rathum, even though it's gonna be more annoying. It's not like Grenier wasn't that bad, but Corpus I could see being an issue because you still need energy weapons to take out the nullifier bubbles and all
I
that.
don't
You
know,
still need
man.
enemy type.
You got
But
those Grenier types that can shoot them Ogresses and absorb a shit ton of damage.
yeah,
In
but
this,
it wasn't that bad because if you had the one way we did it with the Trinity, the Frost and the Ash, it wasn't that bad, you know.
yeah, well,
But
we'll see. So the next point, the next thing that they talked about was the Ash nerf, and I am not happy.
See,
I
I don't know how that's gonna work. It's the fact that um, you're gonna select them. So does that mean a
Yeah, well, I
certain
mean,
amount
we
of
should
you?
tell the audience, what the Blade Storm now. Basically, you'll have to manually target your enemies. D Rebecca showed it off during the stream, but I mean, even just watching their screen, you can't really tell what's going on. I don't want to insult it or put it down too much because I don't know exactly how it's gonna change. I just seen her like marking individual targets, so I'm wondering if you just hold down the button and then just drag it across enemies, or do you have to like press it on them individually? It just seems like a really big hassle. And I'm all about like making ultimates be more interactive with the player. I just don't think that this is the way to go about it. I feel like this is the wrong move entirely because I actually used to use Blade Storm for enemies that were stuck underneath the map. Now how the fuck am I gonna deal with them? You know? Um I just I'm just not for it. Like I actually typed in the chat when this was going on. I said I hate this idea. And I seen like a moderator or somebody whose icon was written in purple. He had like extra little things attached to his name. He said, I like the idea. Well, of course you like the idea. You're an ass sucker. You're an ass kisser. Um, but for us Ash players, I don't think that it's going to be a welcome change. I mean, I talked to Ricky, but I mean, we all know Ricky's intelligence level. He thought it was a cool idea. And I'm just thinking to myself because I talked to Jared before this and I told him about it and he said, well, isn't Bladestorm going to be the same goddamn thing as Fatal Teleport now? He's right. He really is. Like, all this is like a multi-select Fatal Teleport now. So, and I know you don't even play Ash, do you?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this?
I don't like it. I mean, we'll see it when it comes out. I'll judge it then. But just the thought and the idea of how I'm processing it, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
I mean, I haven't lost faith that um, if it is something that we reject immediately, that they'll reset it. Because look at the volt change. They made it so like you had to run over his little pickup in order to get his speed, and nobody liked that.
Which was retarded because it was like a small little object. So if
Yeah,
you miss it by a hair, you don't get it.
yeah,
And plus, it didn't like glow up or have like a beam or like a
like an
little beam.
icon, a
Yeah, exactly.
marker.
Nothing. Just
Yeah.
little tiny swirl. It's like okay, if it's like a cold mission area, it's like I'm not gonna see that one bit.
They could still make it so it's somewhat like the idea that they had initially. They could just make it so if Volt touches you while he's in speed, you're gonna benefit from his speed. That would give because a lot of the times it's stressful for me as a Volt to make sure everybody benefits from the speed. I'm like, okay, gather around me, and it'd be a whole lot easier to just to make it so when players are picking up the buff from him, he just runs them over like shocking speed. Like when he hits his allies with it, it gives them the benefits of the speed. I always thought that that was the natural way to go, but fuck me, right? I don't have good ideas. They've only taken a bunch of my ideas without giving me proper congratulations for it or
Credit.
yeah, credit. That's one thing that the fans of mine have been pointing out from time to time is like, well, that you're essentially providing a lot of ideas to which they don't give you credit for. But it's whatever. I just want the game to be good. That's it. All right, so moving on from Ash, the deluxe skin for Ash, the deluxe skin for Chroma, and the deluxe skin for Frost.
Oh,
I know you have a lot to
oh,
say about this Frost skin.
I love the frost skin. I mean, the chest alone looks like it's like from Crisis, right? And then the arms and the legs look spot on. Like the other deluxe skins that I went through, the legs look like they're like so tiny. these don't look as bulky as Frost or Frost Prime, which is nice. I don't have like the big lobster feet. I had to hide it with that armor. So with his legs alone, with that skin, or he already has armor. He has medieval, legs.
Yeah.
His armor on, and his arms has armor on it. And then the head alone kind of looks like something from Shadow of Colossus.
I seen Cappy, as his Twitch name is, on the God Builds wall. And it's funny. It's funny the timing of this because we were just talking about Joltons not too long ago. He commented and he said this is very Jolton style.
Yeah.
So and
the way the horns are.
Yeah, and I know you personally you love Norse. You really love you some Norse. So this it's like they had you in mind. Like years and years of pissing you off and making you lose your hope in this game, and they're like, you know what, Sean? We know your favorite frame is Frost, so we're gonna give you some Norse stuff on your Frost, okay?
Yes.
and that's it. Sean's just like, okay, you've shut me up. That's all you need to do. I know Jared's gonna be super happy about this Chroma skin. I'm pretty happy about this because I've thought that Chroma was hideous for a long time. And this isn't just like Chinese mythological dragon, because I know Chroma is themed after a dragon, but this is also like shades of feudal Japan samurai. I'm getting that vibe from his armor. It looks like it's tiled in such a way, like the
samurai dragon.
Yeah, like the shoulder plates of samurai. You know what I'm saying? Like how they were layered. It just looks like it's plated all the way down his arms, at least from the concept art. And then it's plated down his legs. I'm really in favor of that. And also the Ash Deluxe skin. I need this in my life. I might be able to tolerate the Ash nerf if I could just have this skin. This skin looks phenomenal. And I have a picture somewhere that I submitted to the forums forever ago. It was before Mesa was even introduced to the game, and it was talking about a SWAT style Warframe. And I really feel as though whoever designed this deluxe skin took inspiration from my drawing. I'll show that in the video. But I really feel as though they took inspiration because in the helmet, I just see the helmet that I drew as a part of this deluxe skin. Maybe it's just me. I mean, I met the devs a year ago, and they stated that they do take a lot of community ideas. So I'm really wondering if they just took this idea from the picture that I submitted and never credited me for it. Again, I'm gonna say I don't really care because I love that helmet. That's the whole point of me drawing it, is I wanted it to be put in the game, and that skin just looks incredible. I want a release date, damn it.
So do
I. These are all gonna come separate. Scott also confirmed that the Ash Deluxe skin is gonna come at the same time as the nerf. So I'm gonna be on an emotional roller coaster that day. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna know what to think about the skin. Not gonna know what to think about the. Well, actually, I know. I absolutely know what I'm gonna be thinking about the skin. I'm gonna be thinking, oh, jizz. So this next thing that they talked about in the stream, I know that you have, you're gonna love it just oh so much. The Dojo / landing craft construction mode, which is a mode that's independent from the rest, where you can just go into your decorations and not have to go in and out multiple times. You can just stay in the mode and move things around as you please.
That's nice. I was doing some dojo construction. People on the God Builds Facebook page has seen that. You know, they've seen me customize um,
Your ship.
my ship and whatnot, the changes I made. But it's just a pain in the ass to remove it, go back, go through the options. It's like, ugh, and then you accidentally click Foundry and you're all the way back in the front of the ship. You're like, God damn it.
Yeah, I accidentally did that too. I was building my little shrine and I clicked the navigation and I'm at the opposite end of my landing craft and I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? You know, I will say, Devstream 81, although it was really good and just introduced a lot of ideas that I was totally cool with, I have to say some negative things about it. You know, I can't be too far up D's ass. You know what I'm saying? I think that these changes, like this one in particular, and a couple others that we'll talk about in a minute, I think that this change in particular is something that should have been in the game all along. I mean, way back when we first started doing dojo construction, when they allowed us to give us decorations, why in the fuck did it take them, like, what, 2 or 3 years to introduce this mode? And I alluded to this a couple of videos back about them prioritizing things all wrong. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is one of the features that we have critically needed for a long ass time. So am I going to sit here and congratulate them for putting in something that needed to be there all along? I don't know. I mean, good on them for doing it now, but it's just, why has it taken so long? You wanted to reprioritize, like, fusing in the endo system and the void, which wasn't broken. I'm still very, very unhappy about that. I want my endless void missions back. I want, you know, constant survivals where I can grab prime parts and therefore get ducats.
Or really nice loot. I know people are gonna say, well, go to extermination or excavations and whatnot. It still is good. Yes, it's still good, but it's just not as fun anymore. I mean, the only thing I do anymore on Warframe is just treasure hunt for this relics, and that's it.
Yeah, the Ayatin treasures.
Yeah, and that's it.
But I feel like Void, if we're talking about endless Void, it's totally different than just like standard exterminate or endless Voids should still drop prime parts. I'm very adamant about that because you want to make it easy for people to just go on ducat runs. Like, you know, with the Void Trader. The Void Trader was actually pretty good this past weekend. He dropped some really nice stuff. And the thing is, Jared, who is just, you know, a few hundred ducats shy of what he needed, I feel as though people like him need an area for them to just go one and done. You know what I'm saying? They can pick up, you know, multiple prime parts within one run and then go back, trade it all in, because it's just such a hassle going in and out of those relics. I believe that like I've told you, you know, hundreds of times by now. I think the relic system is awesome. It's
nice the fact that you can get stuff fast, but I do believe there's still a need for void keys or a system like that where people can go long haul, that can get rewards over and over and over. Or like, if you're going to a relic system, right, and you're going to survival or a defense, I still believe every round you should be able to get rewards for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the longer you stay, the more rewards you get. I believe if you go to wave 20 or 15 or whatever, that's a higher chance of getting like a lower reward.
Yeah. It's just with the relic system, it's easier during like prime access or whenever you have free time to just hunt for something specific. And for the voids, you're not after anything specific. You're just after, you know, junk parts to trade into the Void Trader. And the thing is if they're going to have this system the way that it is now, everything that he dropped this past Friday was so fucking expensive. But the rate at which you acquire prime parts for ducat exchange is just, it's terrible. If you were going to make it so it's harder to get these items in bulk, then I felt like common sense would tell you that you need to make this shit cheaper until you have a more effective means of gathering ducats. I mean, that's just me. If I'm thinking from a developer standpoint of view, I would think, if we cause a change in this area, we have to regulate that change on the opposite end of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? His shit is just so fucking expensive. And people like me, I'm a veteran, you're a veteran, we can afford what the Void Trader has to offer because we've been farming prime parts for freaking all this time. But, newer players that coming into the game, they already feel so lost, and they see Void Trader come, and they essentially need everything that he has on that list. But they don't get to buy it all because that would just take loads and loads and loads of relic farming. Not to mention that we've brought this topic up before numerous times. People have jobs, DE. You have to start acknowledging the people who have fucking jobs. They can't afford the time. Like, doing 2 hours or 3 hours in a voids, like an endless void survival, that's fine because that gets you a lot of junk parts. You can go in, you can trade it, and you can have everything that you need from Void Trader. But the price of that shit has got to come down. It's got to come down because I feel sympathy for people who, because I actually had to sell a few of the prime parts in my inventory. And to my dismay, like, to afford everything that I wanted to comfortably, because I like to have money left over, I had to get rid of a lot of shit. So, alright, we've spent way too much time on that topic. That's something I'm very passionate about. Alright, here's another topic that, it should have been a thing all along. Shield gating. Oh man, I mentioned this in an earlier video. It was, what was it? The War Within. I can't even remember the title of the video. I'm gonna look it up really quick because I can't remember the title of the video, and it's super important at this point. Really quickly. It's been more than 4 weeks ago. Alright, so it was a month ago. Warframe, the War Within developer podcast discussion. I mentioned health gating, and I brought that health gating topic up specifically because of nullifiers. Shield gating is something that should have been into the game from day one. Shield gating is a thing that exists in Halo. It's a thing that exists in Borderlands. I think it's more health gating in Borderlands, but regardless, shield gating pretty much just ensures that if your shield is popped, it doesn't roll over the existing damage into your health. So basically, a nullifier can't one-shot you if you have anything left of your shields. And that's needed to be a thing. So I'm not gonna congratulate DE for this. I feel like it should have been here all along. I don't think that we would have felt as strongly as we do about nullifiers had this been a thing all along. So
wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah, because I mean, with your first adaptation of the Frost build, you chose redirection over vitality. So
Yeah.
this would have helped immensely. So
Now the only thing I have a question about is when they implement this, if it's going to change the shock Xmas. If that's the case, because I mean they still have a ridiculous range, but they still zap you.
Well, they continuously do damage over time, so I would imagine that they would drain your shield, pop it, and then continue to drain into your health.
I wonder how much time they would have.
I would imagine that the shield gating is just basically going to fix it, so if you have anything left of your shields, like if you have 2 shields left, it's going to prevent bombards, nullifiers, things that hit you with, one cluster of damage. I think it's going to prevent you from going down from that shot. Because I, for one, think that it's fucking outrageous that you can have like a strength iron skin build on a rhino, and the shot that pulls you out of iron skin also downs you. That is complete bullshit. I think Iron Skin should have a gating of its own too. I think that you should have Iron Skin, Iron gating, then Shield gating, because Rhino's all about that defense, whereas other frames they don't have that extra layer of defense unless you're talking about Neja or maybe Mesa or Zephyr with their little abilities that kind of negate incoming damage from bullets. But even still, shield gating is something that's needed to be there for quite a long time. I don't feel that it's right that you can have full shields or even 2 shields left and a nullifier just pops you once and you're done. He should have to pop you first to pop the shield, and then second to take down your health. That way, you kind of see it coming. You can prevent yourself from going down. I feel that that's very important. The other point here, the private servers for Conclave. Yet again, another thing that should have been here all along. I mean, I know for a fact that you're not very fond of the PvP system in Warframe.
I don't like PvP, no.
And I feel like
PvP's always been shit. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, it's not. It's changed some bit." But it's.
Oh, it's changed quite a bit.
It has, but
doesn't mean it's good.
Exactly. They when PvP first got implemented, instead of doing PvP nerfs, they started doing PvE nerfs, and that pissed everyone off, and rightfully so. And that's why Ashe got nerfed that one time and pissed people off. And then it affected everyone playing Ashe PvE instead of PvP. I'm doing a PvP nerf. When they started doing PvP nerfs, that was fine. It was great. But when they start switching the mods, which is nice, but it also makes it incredibly hard for other people to level up, because you get into a lobby with someone that is higher rank system. They should have a ranking system. They really should have. Because if someone is a higher PvP rank, you should be put in with players that are lower, so it's easier for you to level up into higher levels.
Well,
like a noob system. I've
spoken out about the Conclave back in that the developer podcast that I was talking about earlier, and I have I have a lot of feelings towards it because I had to farm for those unique Conclave skins, and I not only is the latency such a huge issue, that has been an ongoing issue. I guess I just never noticed it until Lunaro showed up. But I realized that just certain people in Lunaro just cover way too much ground way too quickly. They jump from one side of the court to the next, and there's people that are struggling. They're pulling out every trick in the book to get down the court, and you have players that are just doing it in the blink of an eye because of the fucking latency issue. So private servers is something that's needed to be in the game for a long time. So I can't congratulate them for doing something that they know they needed to do for a long time. It's upsetting because not only is the latency an issue, but it's still just batshit crazy. You've got players, running around, flipping around 90 mile an hour. On top of that, you have piss poor abilities that are just insta kills. I think my Rhino charge is pretty fair. When I take Rhino into the Conclave, the Rhino charge, slash, dash, stuff like that is pretty fair. But I've literally seen Ashe players do their shuriken from across the map, and it's heat-seeking. That shit follows you. I watched an Ember sail across the arena, and an Ashe just nailed her from across the map, and the shuriken curved. I just don't think that Conclave is the place for Warframes. I think that if you're gonna expand on the operators and the children being in the game, with the War Within, the cinematic, because it showed them walking around, I think that they should make us play as our operators and have no powers whatsoever and no access to all this 90 mile an hour flipping around the map bullshit. Because let's face it, it makes it so much harder to shoot. Who wants to aim while you're flipping around and doing all that shit? It's really complicated and complex. And if they're not going to change it entirely, I really wish that they would just add a specific playlist where there is no flipping around shit. Because it just... it doesn't feel right to me. And I've played multiplayers before in the past that were really frantic and flipping around bullshit, like Bionic Commando for the Xbox 360. The multiplayer there was crazy. You felt extremely achieved with every kill. And with this, with Warframe, I just honestly don't feel that level of achievement. I really don't. It just, like, you kill somebody and like, oh, yeah, he should have been dead like 5 minutes ago. I had to chase him around. I just don't like Conclave. I know that there's people out there, but I'm really wanting to know just how many people actually like it, because I've not talked to anybody personally who likes it. The next point. This is something I can praise them for. And I'm going to praise them ongoing. Like, even as the updates continue on, I'm probably going to keep on praising them because I smile from ear to ear. I think at this point you know what I'm talking about. The Warlord mission construction. No, nothing to say about that?
Continue.
Being under me, being in my clan, knowing that I'm going to construct missions for you.
Nope, I am perfectly cool with that. There's not much challenge into the systems.
Oh man,
and having some bit of like a end game challenge would be nice. Be a change of pace.
I guess it really depends on what warlord you have. You're relatively accepting of the challenge, but I know I should have had some other people in the call at this point and asked them what they felt about, like Nikki, bring her in and ask her what she thinks about me being in control of constructing her missions, because I don't think there's gonna be too many people as thrilled as you are that I get to build the missions for you, because I like people already know I'm gonna be a dick. I'm gonna be a dick, and I'm gonna make you earn it. I'm gonna try to construct some challenges that are challenging for me. So if you're not on my level yet, well then, too bad. Sorry.
Separate people from that are beginners to semi to experts level.
Yeah. I'm gonna separate the boys from the men. Time to put on your big boy britches. But there's gonna be some other warlords out there who are puny. I'm gonna make like those missions push over. So I really wonder, how D's gonna manage that. What type of rewards are we gonna get from the clan constructed, the missions, or the warlord constructed clan missions? I really, really want to know what type of rewards we're gonna have access to. I mean, is this gonna be the newest way to ducat farm?
19.
Oh. Yeah. Nitane.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, what type of rewards are we gonna have access to? D, come on, like spill the beans. Let's get some more details. I'm actually interested. This is the one feature I can praise. I can say, yeah, this is gonna make Warframe really refreshing for me.
Endo.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good possibilities. I don't feel like they can screw this one up. I really don't. Like, I can already see myself making posts on the Exidium God Builds fan page saying, this is the most recent mission I've constructed for you guys, and then, everybody sharing battle tactics in the post below that. So this is going to be excellent. I hope that this comes with the War Within. I really do. This is going to be incredible. They did show it working. They did show this in the Devstream, like, Rebecca actually making a mission and then going into it and playing it. So I'm hoping that it comes with War Within. Alright, last topic that they discuss, and last topic we're going to cover. The technical changes, all the different things that they're adding in aesthetically. This topic definitely isn't the best. It's just like, some people are going to be like, who cares? Others are going to be like, oh, well, it's changing the looks of the game. We discussed it before, like high grass, dense fog, different particles of lighting. And they got really, really technical with what went into the game as far as mechanics, like how they had to program this. I'm not going to cover that, obviously, because I don't know a damn thing about it. But, yet again, this is another feature I think that should have been in the game all along.
I mean, it's nice that they added it.
Yeah. The tile sets are randomly generated. So I only thought it would be appropriate if these features were randomly generated along with it. So like if you go to Earth, sometimes you have high grass, sometimes you have normal grass. Sometimes you have dense fog, sometimes you have like a cloudy sky and you have lighting hitting you in different areas. I feel like this could... I really hope that they don't implement it in such a way where once it's in the game, that's it. Like, it doesn't ever revert back to the way it used to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want this to be pushed into the randomly generated things. Like, I want some missions to be high grass, some missions to be just normal default grass, you know what I'm saying? But, yet again, I feel like this is a feature that needed to be present all along. And I don't know what type of technical hurdles they had to jump over to get this into the game, so I can't talk a whole lot of shit. But I just feel like that's the way. I feel like we already had dense fog. You know, we had a Halloween event last year, and there was a lot of dense fog. But you know, the way that they're alluding to it, the particle effects are a lot better than what they used to be. And it begs the question, how well is this going to perform on, like, lower-end rigs? Like, what are they going to see? Like, people who have, like, all their settings turned down, you know? Because I already know what it's going to look like on the highest settings for me. It's just kind of a meh thing. Either you're like, oh, okay, that's cool, or... it's changes to the aesthetics. Who cares? I don't know. I will ask this question though. Are we gonna be able to cut the grass with our swords? If it's high grass?
Find like credits? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You're trying to find credits in the high grass?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, is this gonna open the door for much more shit? Like bugs hiding in the grass?
Am I able to slice fog?
Oh man, how cool would that be? If you could wave your sword
into the fog?
If you could wave your sword and see the fog dispersing out of your way. That would, like, for me personally, granted I make like a lot of trailers for the god builds and stuff. For a cinematic approach, that would be incredible. Like, that would be just so cool. I had never thought about that.
Onto the technical changes, I'm not sure, and I'm interested to see what else that does say high grass, dense fog, lighting, and etc. So I don't know what else they are adding. Which I hope they add more like a frost feature, like a fire, like burning feature, like to have like the heat waves. If it's like a fire.
Well, I think they, like, certain machinery, if you go to, like, series and all the different foundry tile sets, I think that you already see heat waves in certain places. So, maybe they'll just expand on that. Who knows? There was one thing I wanted to mention about this, but I for the life of me, I just can't figure out what it was. Oh, it was Earth, talking about Earth specifically, the day and night cycle. So basically the way that it's set up now is it's every 4 hours it changes from day to night. I think that this is fucking retarded. If DE is listening, Earth has two sides. There is the side that it's experiencing daylight and the side that it's experiencing night. So why aren't there always daylight missions available and nighttime? And some viewers at this point are going to wonder why I'm even upset about this. Well, why don't you go play the Titania quest? And then you'll know why I'm upset about this. Like getting all of your daylight scans for those stupid flowers, and then realizing that you've got to wait 4 hours to play the game just to get on to grab the night, or vice versa. That's a fucking pain in the ass. Like, if there's going to be a day and night cycle for each tile set, then there needs to be a dedicated day and night for both. Like on the left side of the planet is experiencing day, and on the right side of the planet is experiencing night. So like it's divided straight down the middle with the missions, and you go to the left side if you want to go to the day, or you go to the right side if you want to go to night. I feel like you should have that control. I mean, come on, you're up in space, you're in your landing craft. You mean to tell me that the 10-0 don't have the ability to just go to the side of the planet that's experiencing nighttime, or go to the side of the planet that's experiencing day? I don't feel like day and night cycles should be on 4-hour intervals. I think that you should have dedicated missions that are for day and dedicated missions that are for night.
Talk about dedicated changes. I think for dojo purposes, you should be able to go to that like observatory room and have a seating like area where you can actually go to missions in a clan and have a massive clan day to where like either you're helping clanmates and you don't have to keep going out of missions. Just go in the dojo.
I forgot all about that. I forgot that you brought that up.
Go around and just like there is in the relays where you can change your equipment and everything else, or level up mods or not, you can do the same thing in the dojo. I feel as though since it's like a utility hub, technically, you should be able to do that. And also, if it's like the dojo, or if it's like the relay, it should also have its own like ship docking bay.
Well, I mean, we haven't even had a dojo update for how long?
In a long time.
I think it's been over a year. So I'm totally with you on that.
I mean, it makes sense because leaving the dojo is not bad to go through the menus, but it would also be nice if you had like a little like docking bay, which it would probably have to be pretty big, but at the same time it's kind of like it's understandable.
I just think it's a really good alternative to your landing craft. I mean, why spend all that time up in your ship when you're more of like a sociable person? You could just sit in your dojo 24/7, like, and have everything available to you at the ready. Like, you have your foundry, you have like, and I would like to see like a foundry room where you can see parts moving and stuff, kind of like the labs. Oh my God, that would be cool. And like you said in the observatory, I feel like the observatory should be an area where you can access your navigation and go into missions. Like, you can literally meet clanmates in the dojo and be like, oh, this guy's online, obviously, because he's in the dojo. You know, you want to party up and then go into the observatory, do missions, come back, you know, have a station where you can sell your prime parts for ducats. Because I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the relays just to see how much ducats I have, or even something that you and I use a lot, which is the simulachrome. Have this. I mean, everything that's available in relays or in your ship should be in the dojo. God, I mean, dojos have not received any love in such a long amount of time. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Because I forgot all about it. And I feel like it's absolutely necessary that DE make the dojo be more universal. We need options. Like, why not have all these different things that we go to these different places for available elsewhere? I like options. So, and I'm sure, you know, everybody in the comments section watching this video is probably gonna have like a lot more to suggest about what should be in the dojo, but I feel like it should be expanded on. I personally would love to spend all of my time there instead of my ship. Like, I like my ship and everything, but you know,
if you're a solo player, it's fine, but to be able to talk with your clanmates and have that opportunity,
yeah.
You know, and since there's going to be private servers implemented, it'd be nice that it also factors into the dojo. So if you want just a fire team to go into the dojo and that's it, and then maybe invite them, that'd be cool too.
And having a pet room, just like a pet play place. Maybe that's a little bit too much ridiculous to recommend. But I mean, you have to have a pet area so that you can maintain your pets. Like, what if I never want to be in my landing craft ever again?
What if I want to have a pet fighting ring? I mean, it's kind of...
Oh God!
I mean...
PETA's coming after you.
That's alright.
You dirty dog fighter.
I mean, this is like Tenno fighting, so
So what you're saying is fuck PETA.
they kill their own animals too. So
Yeah, nobody's innocent.
nobody's innocent.
God, the dojo just opens up so many ideas. But I imagine that'll be another topic for another time.
Oh yeah.
So the dog's going ape shit because he's like, all right, it's been 45 minutes, time to end the video. You gotta pet me.
Yeah, pet me now. I want to be pet.
Alright, so if you guys have any other ideas, be sure to, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell us what you think should be implemented in the game. Tell us what you think about the changes. And catch you next time. Peace.